specialized mobility, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, command and control, information operations, and Agile Combat Support. The 27th Special Operations Group, located at Cannon Air Force Base, NM, is one of 4 groups assigned to the 27th Special Operations Wing. The group accomplishes global special operations taskings as an Air Force component member of the United States Special Operations Command. It conducts infiltration, exfiltration, combat support, tilt-rotor operations, helicopter aerial refueling, close air support, unmanned aerial vehicle operations, non-standard aviation, and other special missions. It directs the deployment, employment, training, and planning for squadrons that operate the AC-130H, AC-130W, PC-12, Do-328, M-28, CV-22, MC-130J, MQ-1, MQ-9 and provides operational support to flying operations. The 27th SOG has a long and distinguished history since its inception as the 27th Bombardment Group, Light, at Barksdale Field, La, February 1, 1940. Elements of the 27th Berg were in the Philippines when the Japanese invaded the island in December 1941, and aided in the fight against the invading force. The Japanese eventually overran the country, and as a result, many members of the 27th Berg were taken prisoners of war and forced to participate in the Bataan Death March in 1942. Throughout the last 68 years, the 27th designation has been assigned to several groups and wings at a myriad of locations. The 27th was organized as a fighter wing in August 1947, at Kearney Airfield, Neb. Later, in February 1958, in a move to preserve the heritage of the 27th, Air Force leadership transferred the designation to Cannon AFB, replacing the 312th Wing. Since 1958, the wing had supported F-100s, TAT-33s, F-111s and F-16s. The 27th Operations Group was redesignated as the 27th Special Operations Group on. The 3rd Special Forces Group, Airborne, has a long and storied history serving the nation during peacetime and war. Stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the 3rd SFG-A is the lead Special Forces Group on operations in Central Asia. Special Forces soldiers are renowned for their ability to deploy in small teams, operate independently, and conduct their mission in austere environments. Whatever situation may arise, be assured the men of the Special Forces stand ready to answer the nation's call to duty. Units perform 7 doctrinal missions: unconventional warfare, foreign internal defense, special reconnaissance, direct action, combating terrorism, counter-proliferation, and information operations. These missions make Special Forces unique in the U.S. military because they are employed throughout the 3 stages of the operational continuum: peacetime, conflict and war. Its area of operations, AO, is now Africa, excluding the Horn, and the Caribbean Basin. The 3rd Special Forces Group, Airborne, was reactivated at Fort Bragg, North Carolina on June 29, 1990. In the mid-1990s, the 3rd Special Forces Group had as its responsibility all of the Caribbean and all of the western part of the continent of Africa. The reactivation of Fort Bragg's 3rd Special Forces Group brought the number of Special Forces Groups to 5 on active duty status. Each group has 3 battalions, a group support company and a headquarters company. The companies have 6 operational detachment alphas, or A-teams, assigned to them. The ODA is the heart and soul of SF operations. U.S. Special Forces are training African military forces to respond within 30 days when such regional humanitarian disasters strike. The goal of the African Crisis Response Initiative is to create effective, rapidly deployable units that can operate together in a humanitarian or peacekeeping operation. The program began in Senegal and Uganda in late July 1997 with the arrival of about 120 U.S. troops of the 3rd Special Forces Group and 18 Airborne Corps, both of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. U.S. Army Europe and U.S. Special Operations Command. The 1st Battalion, 3rd SFG, was the first U.S. Special Operations Unit to conduct African Crisis Response Initiative training. So when she graduates BMT, she'll start training right away for that, Lieutenant General Daryl Robertson told reporters during a media roundtable at the Air Force. Association's Air Warfare Symposium here. Since the Defense Department opened battle career fields to women last year, 2 female airmen have qualified and entered TAC training. But neither completed the program. One sustained an injury. The other determined the career field wasn't the path for her, the general said. TACs perform a critical job on the battlefield, with airmen assigned to infantry units to coordinate Air Force fixed-wing aircraft in close air support against enemy targets. Last year, we stood up the Air Force's new Battlefield Airman Training Program, and it marked the first year we fully opened all 7 Battlefield Airman career fields to female airmen, Robertson said. Those jobs include Special Tactics Officer, 13CX, Combat Rescue Officer, 13DX, Combat Controller, 1C220, Para-Rescue, 1T220, Special Operations Weather, 1 WOX2, Tactical Air Control Party, 1C420, and Air Liaison Officer, 13 Lucies. In December, the service confirmed no women were in training for any special operations positions days after then Defense Secretary Ashton Carter wrote in a commentary published on Medium.com that a female airman was training to become a TAC. The woman to whom Carter referred had left the program the previous July because of an injury. When we do get the first woman in the pipeline, she'll be in the Battlefield Airman Training Group, 37th Training Wing, at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, Captain Jose Davis of Air Education and Training Command told Military.com in October. After completion of training in the Battlefield Airman Training Group, airmen are then sent to their respective Air Force specialty codes in various commands, Davis explained in an email statement. Last year, the service stood up a new unit intended to consolidate and streamline training for its conventional and special operations ground forces at JBSA Lackland. Because of the new program, we think that we can do the training that we do at 8 different locations probably much more effectively, efficiently, certainly with less money, if we did it at fewer locations, Robertson said again last week, reiterating his comments from September. The general said the review will also